Welcome back to the channel everyone for another ESO build video. I'm Fuzzy Juggernaut. Today I'll be showing you my melee Magicka Warden build for the Markarth patch. But first, before I get into the build, if you like this video or the content on this channel, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and push that notification bell to get the latest content from this channel. Also, I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone who has supported the channel. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So thanks to all of you for watching this video right now. You're awesome. This video is a little long and is going to be covering multiple ways to run the build and with the skills and sets. I'll be releasing the gameplay for this build soon. It was just too much to put out in one video. Also, if you're just here for the gear, I put the timestamps in the description down below for those who want to skip through to the video to the good stuff. This is a light armor build that hits extremely hard and makes you feel like you're running in heavy armor. We have very good survivability along with high damage and great sustain. The healing is awesome and allows us to play aggressively. This is a non-proc build and solely relies on raw damage. So I always found Magden sort of boring to play, so I decided to find a way to make the class a little more interesting. This melee Magden build is extremely fun and works very well in both CP and non-CP. This is a build that you don't have to switch anything on it to be able to play in all areas of PvP. You can go straight from CP to non-CP with no troubles at all. As I always say in all my videos, my builds are just templates for you to use, so do what you want with them, add whatever you'd like. It's completely up to you, but enough talk, I'll let the clips finish out playing and then we'll get into the build. You really want to fucking go, bro? Yeah, you just realize you fucked up now.
There's 5 reds right here, 6 reds.
Alright, here we are. Let's hop into the stat sheet real quick. So, this is our front bar, unbuffed. We're sitting at 31.5k max Magicka, 22-24 Magicka recovery. We have 25.5k max health with 16.5k max stamina, 1164 stamina recovery, and almost 1000 health recovery. We have 22-29 spell damage unbuffed, almost 40% spell crit, 38.8. We have 18.5k spell resistance and 18.8k physical resistance with almost 3k critical resistance on the front bar. 64 points into Magicka, none into anything else. Go to the back bar. Back bar's a little less, but mostly the same. Except we got higher spell and physical resistance. We got 21,000 and 21,325. Everything else is pretty much the same except for the crit. A little bit less damage. 1k less Magicka. It's because we're running inner light on the front bar. Now let's half buff here. We'll be sitting at 2674 spell damage. This goes up to 4k spell damage though overall. I'll show you how we get that as you saw in the stat sheets earlier in the video. We'll buff this up. Back bar we're sitting at 27k spell pretty much resistance and a little over 27k physical resistance on the back bar, which is really nice. Make sure I keep it up. Then we got 24.5k spell resistance on the front bar and 24.7 physical resistance on the front bar also, so we're sitting at pretty good stats overall. Also, whenever we use a healing ability, one of those from the passives, where health's going to go up to 28k, so we're in light armor, which is doing pretty nice. I am a Nord on this. I am running Beewood Sugar Skulls. This works really nice. We are stage 1 vampire. You can go stage 3 if you choose to. I chose not to. That's just personally me. The 30% or the percentage that we get is really nice, but honestly it just makes our abilities cost so much. And I don't use mist form, so it's really not that big of an advantage for me to use. But you could go that way if you'd like. I have the Atronach as the Munda Stone just for more Magicka recovery because we're sitting at 31k Magicka. Completely up to you. If you want to go with spell damage or spell penetration, then that will work also. Because we're sitting at 22 something right now, so you'd be at like 1900, 1800, which would still perfectly be fine. But I use this in non-CP and in CP, so I just keep the Atronach on there. Like I said, stage 1 vampire. Now let's head into the inventory. So like I said, Bewitch Sugar Skulls, you can use whatever food you like, but Bewitch works the best. It's not too terribly expensive. I use Crown Tri Restoration Potions. You can use immovability pots or whatever Tri-Stat health pots you want. It's up to you. Our first set is going to be War Maiden. Yes, this setup, I have 2 setups in this that I'll be going over. So this is the first one. This is like a universal build that pretty much works on Magblade, Magplar, and Warden, and it's amazing. War Maiden's my favorite damage set for Magicka classes in the game by far. I have a weapon damage enchant, Fire Staff, Nirnhoned. You can go with Sharpen if you'd like, but since we're in light armor, I just kept it Nirnhoned. I didn't want to retransmutate it. Gives a spell crit, Magicka, spell damage, and then another 600 spell damage to our magic damage abilities, which is nice. So overall, we're getting about 730 spell damage. Our back bar is going to be Vatistran Frost Staff. This one's not the perfected. If you have the perfected, that will work too. You can block with this staff because it's a Frost Staff, which is really nice. I just have a shock damage enchantment. You can put whatever enchantment you'd like. I have Nirnhoned on this one because I use it on front bar and certain other things and other builds, but it also helps with the healing on the back bar to give us that damage overall boost, which also helps our healing. Completely up to you, and just by casting weakness to elements, this puts a nasty dot on people for quite a bit of a time, and it's really nice also putting weakness to elements and everything on them. You can also use Sword and Board if you'd like, put like War Maiden, Mace, and Shield. It's completely up to you, which will increase your resistances and all that. So it's completely optional. Then our second set for our monster set is going to be Balorgs. I have Impenetrable on the head, Max Magic Enchant. This pretty much just gives us our weapon damage, and then when we use our ulti, it's going to give us a lot more weapon or spell damage, and pretty much a crap ton of penetration. So it's really nice, especially when we use this with Northern Storm, and then we pop our bursts and get them all lined up. It absolutely annihilates people. I think we get close to 46 to 48k spell or 4800 spell damage. So really nice set. You can choose to run something else if you'd like. If you really want to go nasty, you can go Zons or like Blood Spawn or whatever you want for healing or resistances. Then the shoulders, we have Impen on this with Max Magic Enchant too. Like I said, spell damage, and then the ulti ability that you get with it. Our third set's going to be Curse of Eternal Vigor. So Eternal Vigor's a really nice set. I still use this set in a lot of my builds, as you know already. I have Reinforced on the chest with the Max Magic Enchant. This just pretty much gives us a crap ton of recovery, some health, and then a lot more recovery. And then when we drop below 50% health, we get another 1000 health recovery. So being a vamp is really nice, and this is like a melee Magden build. So we actually have like 2k almost health recovery when we drop below 50%, which is still really good for being a vamp, even though we're stage 1. Then the belt is going to be War Maiden, Impenetrable, Max Magic Enchant on here. Then the arms are Max Magic Enchant with Impenetrable, War Maiden. Then we have Eternal Vigor, Pants, Impenetrable. You can go Reinforced if you'd like. It's completely up to you. I already am tanky enough with the Nord, so I just kept these ones as Impenetrable. Max Magic Enchant on those. So you have the 2 heavy, 5 light. Then we have War Maiden boots, Impenetrable, Max Magic Enchant on these ones. So 2 heavy, 5 light, chest and legs. Then we have all Eternal Vigor jewelry. I have 2 infused and 1 arcane spell damage with arcane on this one. You can go all arcane if you'd like, honestly. It's completely up to you, but this works for me. I wanted to boost the spell damage up, and my sustain is really good actually with only having 31k. My damage is really nice also, so you can run the jewelry how you see fit. It's completely up to you. Infused with spell damage on the ring, and then infused with Magicka recovery on this one. Now to our skills. So our first ability we're going to be running on here is Deep Fissure. This is a really nice ability, hits really hard. Unbuffed tooltip, we're sitting at 13,680 magic damage to enemies. Also afflicts them with minor breach, reducing their physical and spell resistance by 6,000. Stack that with our light armor that we're in and the penetration that we have. This hits really hard, it's really nice, and it does a lot of damage. So you can time this with your burst, and even if you need to throw it out there without the burst, it still melts people down pretty well. It's an awesome ability, and it's one of the best abilities Wardens have for damage. Bird of Prey, this is going to give us Major Expedition, increase our movement speed by 30%, and 5% increased damage to our target from Minor Berserk. Inner Light, this is going to be a flex spot. I run this strictly for the Major Prophecy to increase us almost to that 40% for the build. Now, it gives us a little extra Magicka, but this could be a flex spot. You can put... I would personally, if I don't run this, I put Fletcher Fly there. That's my personal way of running it. This does a good amount of dot damage, ticks hard. Unbuffed tooltip is 13,764. When it's fully buffed up, does a lot more damage, and it puts minor vulnerability on your target. But you could run Enchanting Growth if you'd like, or Gripping Shards, Arctic Blast, take it off the back bar, put it on the front bar, Shimmering Shield. Any of those work. You could even put a damage shield if you'd want. Completely up to you. Then our next ability is going to be Arterial Burst. Unbuffed tooltip. We're sitting at 10,544 magic damage. This only costs 1,900 Magicka, which is really cheap, and it deals 33% more damage based on your missing health, which is also nice. This thing, tooltip, goes really high, hits really hard, and when you're below 50% health, you get automatic critical strike with it. Stack that with Eternal Vigor too. You got a lot of healing, incoming healing. We got to heal over time, and also a good burst heal at the same time. So if you go down low, you can start hitting people with this stuff while you're healing up, and it will hit extremely hard. Then we got Flame Clinch. I highly recommend running this. This is going to be our only CC, since the Magden doesn't really have any CC abilities on their class. So this does a decent amount of damage, and if players are coming at you or you're getting overwhelmed, you can just CC them with this and knock them back 8 meters, which is pretty far, get them off you, or stun them and then run up to them, hit them with Deep Fissure. Time combos, it works really well, it does a decent amount of damage. You can take this off if you don't want it, but I highly recommend running it. Then we have Northern Storm for our ulti. Stack this with our full tooltip damages, which we're like at 46 or 4,800, close to 5k spell damage, something like that. And this ulti, it hits really hard with Balorgs, does a good amount of damage, slows, reduces everyone's movement speeds down, and then also gives us major protection, 10% damage taken mitigation for our ulti. And then our back bar, you're going to also stack that with Ice Fortress, which gives us 5%, that's 15% damage mitigation when you have that ulti popped, and make sure you have Ice Fortress up at all times. This is going to be our first ability on our back bar. This increases our physical and spell resistance by 6,000. So Major Resolve, really nice. This is a flex spot. You don't have to run Living Trellis. I run Living Trellis for the health, and every time I get attacked, I get healing from whoever's hitting me, and then it also gives me a burst heal at the end of it. This is a flex spot. You could put another heal here if you'd like. Completely up to you. If you want, you could go with Enchanted Growth or whatever. Whatever you feel is comfortable, whatever you want to run. Completely up to you. It's a flex spot though. Then we have Blue Betty. This is a must-have. Obviously, it's free, and it gives us Magicka back, and it increases our spell damage by a lot. It gives us Major Brutality and Sorcery, so it's really nice. And you can constantly hit this for free too to get your health up from 25 to 28k instantly without using Arctic Blast. Arctic Blast is going to be our main heal on this. Like I said, you can stack another heal if you'd like. Arctic Blast is really nice though. We're at 25k, but when we're normally buffed up, which you should be at all times, you'll be at 28k health. So this is actually like an 8k heal, instant heal, and then it also gives us about 950 instead of 875 health every 1 second for 5 seconds. So it's a nice burst heal with health over time. Also, it does a decent amount of frost damage to people, and if they get hit multiple times by it, it stuns them for 4 seconds, which is really nice. It scales off your max health. Then we have Weakness to Elements. This is a flex spot. You don't have to run this here. This, honestly, I run this for the Vatastrand staff, obviously, to put the debuff on them, and then proc the staff enchantment on them and everything else, along with the actual staff ability. You don't have to run this if you don't want to run the Battle Strand Staff. You could actually switch this out and put another heal on here, or you could put Elusive Mist and then not run Northern Storm on here and put Shield Wall if you want to run Sword and Board ulti. Completely up to you. I just have Northern Storm on here because I have it on both bars. I don't really have any other ultis and I'm not running Shield. So then we put this back on there, but yeah, this is a flex spot. Completely up to you. If you don't want to run this, you don't have to. I don't even have this upgraded yet, so I need to put Elemental Drain on here. You'll get more resources back obviously once it's Elemental Drain, and then Northern Storm you can switch out for whatever ulti you want on the back bar. That's it for the skills. Now to our champion points. These are just templates. You don't have to run it this way, and I run multiple builds on this guy, so I have my champion points set up so that I can just switch my builds. I don't have to constantly change my champion points, so you don't have to run them exactly like this. We have 48 into Warlord, 9 into Sprinter, 1 into Siphoner, 1 into Bashing Focus, 64 into Arcanist, 32 into Mooncalf, 27 into Healthy, 37 into Tumbling, 51 into Shadow Ward, one of those abilities that I told you that I switch my builds around so you don't have to run all that points into there. 43 into Blessed, 37 into Elfborn for the crit, 64 Elemental Expert, 54 Spell Erosion, 72 Mastered Arms. Nothing to this tree. If you want to go more dot oriented, then you can go ahead and put this on here, but this is the melee Magden, so I don't have any in there. My dots are fine. 56 into Ironclad, 10 into Spell Shield, 33 into Resistance, 36 into Light Armor Focus to help even out the resistances, 34 into Thick Skin, 37 Elemental Defender, 37 into Hardy, 27 into Quick Recovery to increase our healing also. That's it for the champion points. I think I covered everything. If I missed anything, just let me know in the comments section down below. I'll try to get back to everyone. Everyone's hitting me up right now. But I appreciate y'all stopping by and showing the channel some love and support. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers, so if you like the videos and the content on this channel, make sure you subscribe. But big shout out to Grimsforge Gaming and Kirkhoff and all them, and a lot of other people. I'm just blanking on the names, but they all help me out, help my channel out and everything, and really show me a lot of love and support the channel. So I appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.